back silhouette.
Analog horror as a concept has been around for quite a while, but didn't really enter the zeitgeist of online horror until October 31st, 2017. Local 58 is often cited as the father of modern analog horror and went on to inspire many notable series that would go on to inspire others as well. The Mandela catalog itself popularized the trope of using stretched and altered faces to unsettle viewers. This trope, as well as other techniques, would go on to be lampooned in recent years due to the oversaturation of the genre, leading to many videos proclaiming the death of analog horror. Is this the death of analog horror? Ignore this one on my channel. That was a joke. I'm not actually talking about the genre. My purpose today is not to create a retrospective or criticize the genre, more to actually talk about one specific series within it, the Smile Tapes, and how I believe it is a rough example of analog horror. But of course, before we begin, please go to Patorikku's channel and check out the series for yourself. Link will be in the description below. The Smile Tapes hits a lot of analog horror tropes. Videotape distortion, minimalist presentation including a lot of text-to-speech voices, and of course, distorted faces. Released during the height of the genre's popularity, I believe that Patorikku was inspired and decided to create their own series within a genre that has a pretty easy bar of entry. I feel the first entry of the series shows this, and currently on Patorikku's channel, the series is only available as one long video. I remember it released in different parts before. I watched the Smile Tapes sometime in the past. I remember my first time ever watching it, I was sitting in my car during lunch, and I didn't think it was very good. At one point, I'd watched the series entirely. I had filmed a reaction to it, and I'd planned to make a video about it then. However, I felt that my reaction at the time was less of critically looking at the series and more of just kind of shitting on it, and I just didn't want to make that kind of video. I do remember it getting better as it went along though, so I decided to come back to this, make a video on it, and try to have an open mind. This is the Smile Tapes. The series begins with a text-to-speech voice giving a PSA about a drug in circulation called the Smile Drug, warning people to stay away from anyone seemingly under its effects, as it has already claimed the lives of over 500 people. Visible symptoms include mania, laughter, and violent tendencies, as well as a big ol' smile with some giant teeth. Damn, either this drug be growing enamel or fellas always had a pair of fucking chompers. Good lord. We then get some convenient video distortion on the creepy face. Okay, to be fair, when we're viewing tapes like this, any little video distortion like that, no matter how convenient, is entirely plausible. You are advised not to go into a dark alley, as this is where the most deaths occur. Why? Like, I get it, dark alley, but do these guys specifically hang out in dark alleys or something? I guess we should add strong desire to hang out in dark alleys to the list of visible symptoms from these guys. Next, we see the Smile Investigation Journal, in which issue number 1 refers to 2 patients under the effects of the Smile Drug, or of spores the drug itself is made of, that are highly likely to be accidentally ingested. The 2 patients are handsome men with supple lips who arrived on the same day with headaches and facial cramps. Medicine isn't helping, and the patients are brought to a lab for observation. There they spend the next few weeks with varying symptoms and a range of sanity as smiles grow and contort their faces. One of them gets a major haircut, apparently, as they become predatory and laugh uncontrollably. Apparently it makes them laugh like an idiot. I think that sounds more silly than disturbing, honestly. They are locked up by week 4 and, what's up with the guy on the left's eye? I don't know if the creator went with this iteration of the changed face because it looked creepy, or because it implied somewhat of a more like alien transformation. If it's the latter, could you imagine how that would look in real life? God, that's fucked. Plus, their vocal cords are fucked up due to strain. I imagine they still must be trying to laugh. That does sound haunting. By week 5, this handsome-looking fellow has turned into a fucked up old white guy. Oh, the horror. Ugh. The other patient didn't make it this far, and the one still alive is showing symptoms of Alzheimer's. and soon he dies as well. Autopsy reveals his brain is full of a fungus, secreting something similar to acetylcholine, which controls muscle function in the body. Look, I dropped out of college. You think I'm gonna pronounce this shit right? As an autopsy is conducted, spores come out of the patient's mouth, and the 2 morticians present are quarantined. I don't personally find the whole big smile, manic laughter thing particularly scary, but I think the concept the creator is going for is pretty good. The next part of the series is a story about a man named Sean Gomez, as he had spores fucking blue in his face. We hear what happens to him through logs that he has written. I'll summarize them. He begins to have strange dreams of being out in space, and he sees this man in his dream. A man that you might recognize this picture. This is a well-known picture of a guy that appeared in a lot of people's dreams in real life, or at least they were shown pictures of this man, and a lot of different people, again, in real life, said that they felt like they'd seen him at some point in a dream or something. He's kind of a shared consciousness concept. When I saw this guy's face being used in this series the first time, I found it really jarring. It kind of took me out of it, made me eye roll a little bit, but upon rewatching and really thinking about it, using somebody who in real life is this concept of shared dreams, and then this guy appearing to this character, Sean Gomez, in a dream, it's fine. It's totally fine. Plus, the Mandela catalog had used, like, police sketchings of people. Seeing a real-life character that I've heard of before in a series is like I said, a little jarring. That's just me. I can't just judge it on that. It works here. It's fine. Sean has the expected facial problems, and doctors can only tell him to hydrate and take pain meds. And when that doesn't help, they're stumped. Sean's mental and physical well-being are deteriorating, and the poor guy's dog dies. Now, he might have killed it. It doesn't say that he killed it, but from what we see later, he might have killed it. Sean eventually succumbs to the madness of this happiness, and he decides that he should spread that happiness around. During this entire section, we hear this piano piece being played over these logs. The Smile Tapes doesn't start the series off with a disclaimer like the Oakburn Opus did that lets you know that this is all based on an event that happens. As far as we know, this is all actual record of what happened. So, why the fuck would somebody add this melancholy piano to these logs? That seems in horrible taste for an official log about a guy who went crazy and does eventually what he does. It doesn't strike me as something that a person would actually just do. It feels more like Patorikku put it in there because, oh, he felt like this section needed something a little bit more for atmosphere. It feels more tacked on to me than really fitting in. One thing I do like here is the subtle misspelling towards the end that lends to Sean's impending madness before that unspaced out rambling of his future intent. Sean rings in the new year with some murder. We see a police report of a mass stabbing attack carried out by him. This attack would kill 16 and injure 10, as the police were forced to shoot and kill Sean, adding to the event's total death toll of 17. We then get an interruption in the police report with this. Do I look beautiful? I'm in a happier place now. He smiles. I think this part sucks, dude. Why is this at the end of a police report? There isn't a ghostly or paranormal entity that's gonna fuck with these tapes. Spoiler alert, the spores are like alien, they came from space. But the space shrooms aren't fucking with the VHS, man. This is just one of those moments of, ooh, scary. Isn't that scary? No, it's lame. Turns out I am still being harsh about this series. It is a first part in a series by a relatively new creator. It's not an awful start, but I just don't think it's that good. On to the next section. It begins with a tape called Far History that's discussing the origins of life. The key one being panspermia, the idea that something from outer space impacted the Earth and brought life to the planet. I like this theory because panspermia has the word sperm in it, and sperm is cum, and I like to come. The videotape glitches, showing a lone meteor coming to Earth. A good video glitch totally in line with what Far History may already include. It effectively implies there is a correlation between a meteor impacting the Earth and the spores we see in the series. We then get to my least favorite part of this section, possibly of the series. A signal is detected south of Chitinalu, California. It's a transmission from a numbers station. It's numbers, a bunch of numbers. It's really fucking boring, but I mean, hey, it's easy to script for. Looking up the translations, it might have something to do with a shipment of the spores sent to where Sean Gomez got it blue in his face. I don't know if that's true or not, and I also don't know if that means that Sean was an intentional victim or just in the wrong place at the right time. Issue number 2 of the Smile Investigation Journal notes that there have been nearly 1,500 deaths and 5,361 people hospitalized since October 13th of 1995. We are told that the fungus is prone to mutation, and methods of transmission are explained, including victims spreading it intentionally. After Sean Gomez's death, the police found the journal that we read earlier, and it's revealed to us that Sean had died around stage 2 of the illness, the most common time in which somebody dies. Which is a kind of funny detail to add, seeing as the reason he died in stage 2 was because he was fucking shot by cops. I don't remember that in the list of symptoms. Add it up there! We also learned that the 2 morticians that were infected by the spores by one of the patients they were doing the autopsy on earlier are showing minimal symptoms, and the reason they got so easily infected is because safety protocols were not being followed. Must have been a Friday. We then get, Bill Clinton giving a press conference about the Smile drug thing, epidemic outbreak.
My fellow Americans, for the past few months, our citizens have been under attack by a new and deadly force.
It's kind of awkward. Whatever method they used at the time, my guess is deepfake or early AI stuff, it looks a bit silly. This was made back when AI was kind of just seen as a fun novelty and hadn't been broadly viewed as a problem yet, so I don't want to apply current sensibilities to Patorikku here. AI bad, but I'll let this shit slide once here. Next, there is an emergency alert about how San Diego and Tijuana are getting fucked up from this Smile shit right now. During this alert, there's a few of those text pop-ins showing up that say like spooky stuff, and I gotta say again that there is nothing supernatural or spiritual at play here to do these edits. There is pandemonium in these streets as we see a person in a window, and then we see the dream guy again. The dream guy showing up during Sean's logs is totally plausible because he could have drawn the dream guy to depict what he saw in his dreams, blah, 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 whatever. But now this shows up and there's background noise that's all creepy, and there's text of the dream guy being all like, I love the bloodshed, we'll all be together, and all this shit. Infected people dreaming of this guy makes sense because their brains are all fucked up with fungus and shit. It seems more physical than metaphysical. And even if there is a metaphysical connection, it's just in these people's fungusy brains, man. There is nothing metaphysical fucking with these videotapes. The only explanation I could fucking muster is that the spore-infected people or some underground evil cabal is messing with these tapes. The Smile drug got out there somehow, someone blew spores in Sean's face, I guess. But what would be the point of fucking with the tapes that are an account of the Smile incident. Are you trying to convince people? You're convincing people that you're nuts. That's not gonna put anybody under an influence. There's not spores coming out the fucking TV. I'll tell you why I think it's in there. It's to go boo, 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 boo. Oh, isn't that scary? Oh. Up to this point, the Smile tapes have been a perfect example of why people soured on analog horror. It feels to me like this series has used all of these tropes of the genre haphazardly. They don't fit the narrative. They're just there, to be scary, to be analog horror. After fucking this guy, we get a section detailing different variants of the Smile infection. Variant A is what we've seen before. Variant B appears to be benign, with symptoms soon subsiding. The first person to show this variant is Sarah Campbell, one of the 2 quarantined morticians. And Variant C, which this happens. This part is creepy and jarring. Text shows they become bloodthirsty, bulletproof, gain in human strength, and heightened senses. But why does the tape get all tampered with and go blah, 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 blah? See my previous fucking rant. We then get some actual video footage in this eerie-looking space. What's going on here? I don't fucking know. Looks neat though. 29th of January, 1994. More live-action video of a man going on a hike and hoping to get home before nightfall. It does, however, appear to be getting late as he admires the view. Then he hears a scream and locates a house in the woods. Heading towards the house, he calls out as he hears screaming, then laughter.
What's going on there?
He enters the house and searches. We then see a separate shot of the house, where we hear him killed by the laughing man. We see a shot of a mountain as the tape glitches, and we see the image of who I assume to be the hiker as another glitch occurs, and we get a smiling fella and a spooky sequence of the hiker's face distorting as he gargles blood, and we see the blood spatter in the picture. Then the signal is lost after we hear a weird voice say something. Where do I even start with this part? The live action stuff, it looked nice, it looked good. Then it cuts to a completely different shot of the house from a better quality camera. We hear significantly improved audio that sounds way better than the camera the hiker used. Do I even need to tell you that this is sloppy and doesn't fit? It seems pretty obvious to me. Who set up the camera pointing at the house? Your mom? I've already harped on the video glitching that happens in this part enough. It's scary, it doesn't fit. Moving on. Issue number 5 of the investigation journal. Did I miss a couple? I don't fucking care. This issue informs us that as of March 1996, 8,786 people have died and 4,035 are hospitalized. Scientists have tracked down the Smile thingy's evolutionary origins to Yucatan, where it was found in an insect preserved in amber, like Jurassic Park. Cool. Footage implies it may have come from the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. Scientists officially named the fungus Aboliomondo rhizus, which translates to the jester. Cool. I'm not having fun anymore. Fucking Joker ass, fucking cringe ass name. Fuck. God. Oh, man, I'm trying to... But fortunately for me, we're getting into a part that I actually really like. I know. Up until this point, that must be shocking to hear. April 3rd, 1996. Oliver McCormack has been stuck sheltering in his apartment for quite some time now. He's running out of food, has closed off most of the ventilation in his apartment to keep out the spores, and is dealing with smoke that chokes him coming from blocks away from his location. He hears laughter from the infected and screams from their victims. We get this great scene from inside his apartment. Oliver has no choice but to go outside because he has finished the last of his food supply about 10 hours ago. You don't want to hang in there a tad bit more, Ollie? I know after 10 hours you're probably feeling a mite bit peckish, but enough to risk your life for? Oliver travels to a grocery store on the quieter side of town, which, by the sounds of the screaming, either the quieter side of town is still rather loud, or the less quiet side is so loud one could hear it from the quiet side. Either way, fuck me, man. Things in town are just not good today. While searching the store, Oliver hears an infected person, or a smiler, and he hides. These next couple scenes are really simple but cool. I dig them. The sight of him running down the street and looking behind him and seeing a smiler right on his tail, that's really terrifying. Frantically running up those steps, Oliver makes it to his apartment, locking the door as it gets violently banged on, the smiler trying to get in. Oliver has a lighter and a can of roach killer, and when the door gets breached, Oliver lets the smiler have it, torching the motherfucker, as we see a shot of its burning face. Not so funny now, bitch! We see the aftermath of the smiler, and honestly, it looks kinda silly to me. Smile! For the most part, this section had this really eerie emptiness that built up all this tension, and I had a great time. As much as I'm willing to look past details of something if the bulk of it is really good, I feel like I should be consistent in my criticism of this series. The shots of Oliver holding the lighter and spray can, then readying it, break the consistency of the single camera shots from the camcorder throughout the rest of this section. The next segment is a doctor speaking with Sarah Campbell, the mortician infected by the spores who became the B variant with benign symptoms. The conversation boils down to this. The doctor wants to do some tests to see if she holds the key to a potential cure. He also says he will allow her to see her son. Unfortunately, none of that is going to happen, because a bunch of smilers break into the research facility they are in and kill everyone. I know that because a lady voiceover says so, and so does this cringe edgelord. April 4th, 1996. The city is ablaze as Oliver looks upon it from his balcony, when I think fucking aliens or something show up.
Wait, what? No.
That or a fucking super weapon, I'm not sure. I mean, the virus itself is not of this world, so the aliens are a possibility. 20 years later, Lucas Sutterfield is a survivor recounting his time living through the outbreak. He stayed in his basement a whole year, only going out to get food, talking about the fights over getting supplies, and how they discovered that the C variants could be killed with fire, and how that helped a lot in the fight against the Smilers. However unceremonious it feels like, that is the end of the Smile tapes. And obviously I've had a lot of thoughts. Based on my original viewing of the series, I remember it being rough, but then getting better as it went along. It was my original intent when making this video that this was a series showcasing a creator's development and improvement over time making the smile tapes. But when watching it again, I like it less. I like the Oliver section a lot. There's some pretty good touches here and there and a solid premise. But I feel there's a severe lack of cohesion that makes a lot of the scarier sections feel tacked on in a way that doesn't flow well. It disrupts my viewing experience and comes off to me as either sloppy, pointless, or just kinda lame. I don't think that the Smile Tapes is style over substance. It has style, and it has substance, but they lack a true connection, and I feel like a better marriage of the two could have led the series to being good, maybe even great. I'd say that the Smile Tapes overall is okay, but hey, what do I know? This thing's got fucking butt tons of views, and I'm just some idiot. I appreciate that Patorikku had a vision and gave it a shot, and I would always encourage somebody to just keep making shit. Because art, no matter the quality, I think it's pretty cool. Please check out the Smile Tapes yourself. You might actually really enjoy it. I could see other people getting more out of it than I have. Maybe subscribe to Patorikku. Maybe subscribe to me. I don't know. I'm not your mom.